Little Nightmares is the love child of Tim Burton and Little Big Planet, and you cannot prove me wrong. Have you ever played a game, completed it, and then sat there and looked at your screen like, what the fuck did I just play? That's Little Nightmares. Don't get me wrong, the game was good, I just had no idea what's going on in the story. Little Nightmares is in the I'm totally a horror game, but I'm really just creepy category. It's got an overall creepy atmosphere, just like Showdown Bandit, and also has creepy designs, also like Showdown Bandit. So it's less scary and more creepy to be exact. And because the base game of Little Nightmares is so short, I'm also going to be tossing in the DLC in this video, totally not trying to stretch out the time or anything, not like I monetize my videos or anything, because even if I did, they'd still get demonetized. This game relies on the usage of puzzles to progress. Thankfully, the puzzles aren't that difficult, they just require a bit of looking around the room you're in. Because there are puzzles involved, a lot of the gameplay consists of pushing or pulling objects, throwing things. I could be in the Little League. And lots of running. And like most horror games, there's always some enemy trying to kill you. Well, what's the enemy in Little Nightmares? Anything that is quadruple your size. Since you have no real way to defend yourself, all you're meant to do is hide away as best as you can. Oh, and I forgot to mention, hunger happens to play a part in this as well. Oh look, he's offering food. Wait, 6, what are you doing? 6, wait, no! Cannibalism can now be checked off the what the fuck list. This does happen again, but we'll get to that. There are a few enemies that show their faces practically all the time, and I really wish they didn't. You've got Long Arm Joe, which is blind and has long arms, all the better to touch you with, but these arms end up being incapacitated. Then you've got... what the fuck? They have a face only a mother could love. They look like if the Swedish chef from Sesame Street was on Mr. Meaty, but got his face smashed into a door. That's what they look like. They don't end up dying or anything, you escape from them and they just throw things at you. They did, however, get me with the jump scare. A little bit of context for the next one. You end up climbing outside to the exterior as you notice it's a boat, and you can see these blurred pudgy things getting off one boat and onto this one. Eventually, you get closer, and I just assumed they were like old people or something, but nope. They are having a field day at this buffet. The only reason why I find this part creepy is because of the sounds of them eating. These are sounds that I can no longer unhear. And also there end up being parts where one of them ends up chasing you, and that is not okay. You see this? This is not okay. This is now checked off my list of things that are not okay. No. Speaking of being chased, there ends up being another section where instead of being chased by one of them, it's like an entire wave of them, and that's not okay either. It's like that one scene from Spirited Away with No Face. If you've seen Spirited Away, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, then I suggest you watch it. It's a good Ghibli film, and we aren't debating whether it's pronounced Ghibli or Ghibli. I really don't care how you pronounce it. And then the last big enemy you deal with isn't pudgy or creepy. Well, she is creepy, but just not that creepy. Her entire location is broken mirrors, so I assumed it was a Medusa complex. And I was kinda right. There happens to be a conveniently placed unbroken mirror for you to use to fight her, and you just need to face the mirror in her direction. Cannibalism, am I right? Now, the last bit afterwards left me a bit confused. I still have no idea what this is all about. Now, let's get to the DLC. The DLC doesn't directly deal with 6, instead it deals with the no-name character that also happens to be on this pleasure cruise. A good portion of the first DLC has some water levels that are, without a doubt, annoying given the fact that you have this weird water thing chasing you the entire time, touching your toes. But it's fine, you deal with it in a fashionable way. At the end of this DLC, you do end up getting caught, and you end up nearby 6, which you see them right there. Now as for the second and third DLC, I didn't finish them, unfortunately, because I don't have 200 IQ big brain and I was unable to finish them. Second DLC caused me a lot of frustration because touchy long hands was a big obstacle the entire time. Even after I got past them in the first section, you gotta do that shit again, and I just was not having it. Fucking did it. Oh, fuck you, game. Oh my god. No. No. Don't make me go through that again. Don't make me do it again. Don't make me do it again. I beg of you. Anything but this. And as for the third DLC, I simply didn't understand the puzzles, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't feel like being a cheater and looking it up, so I just took the loss. But I want to assume the third DLC explains why all the mirrors in her room were broken in the base game. I could be wrong, I might be right, I don't know.